Back taxes, you need the best team on your side. Priority Tax Relief has helped thousands of Americans resolve their IRS problems and settle for pennies on the dollar. As a leading tax resolution firm, we have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, 105-star reviews, and a 4.9-star rating on Google because we deliver results and huge savings. If you owe $5,000 or more and even facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or IRS letters, call us today at 800-735-0945. Once you call, our tax professionals will call the IRS with you for free, and within minutes, start negotiating a settlement. We'll put a stop to collections and fight to get you the best settlement possible. Choose the company Americans trust most. Call Priority Tax Relief now at 800-735-0945 to see what relief you qualify for. Don't wait. Make the call. Dial 800-735-0945. Once again, that's 800-735-0945.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The debate over whether Bakersfield should become a sanctuary city is moving forward, but no policy has been adopted. I'm Rob Archer. Supporters say limiting local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement would help immigrant families trust police, report crimes, and use city services without fear. Opponents say the city should cooperate fully with federal authorities. They worry a sanctuary policy could hurt public safety or threaten federal funding.
I forgot to ask you, any specific music you want?
Oh man, if you can find Mr. Blue Sky, Yellow, that's my music. I love that intro.
And it spread into dry grass. Kern County crews are working from the north, while Los Angeles County firefighters attack from the south. Aircraft are supporting crews in the steep terrain. People near the fire should watch for Ready Kern alerts. Drivers should check road conditions before heading to the Grapevine. Extreme spring heat has caused major losses for Kern County pistachio growers. County agriculture officials expect more than half of this year's crop to be lost, worth an estimated $396 million. Hot weather in March disrupted pollination and nut development. The county has asked the state for a disaster declaration. Consumers could also see higher pistachio prices. The dangerous heat will last through the weekend. Heat alerts have been extended across Kern County and Bakersfield, possibly reaching 108 through Sunday. An extreme heat warning covers the desert and Indian Wells Valley, where temperatures could reach or top 110. Cooling centers are open until 8. If you need a free ride, call 211. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest, well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Well, you only thought it was going to be Ralph Bailey. You get a special surprise today. If you can guess my name in 10 guesses, you get a special prize. Don't know what the prize is yet, but we'll figure that one out later. This has been an incredible honor to be asked. Ralph came up to the Corcoran prison and got with the warden, and they called me up and they said, yes, Ralph is sponsoring a work release program for the prisoners now, and we need somebody to fill in for him on Thursday. And since you don't seem too dangerous, we'll give you a chance. And what an honor, what an honor. No, actually, I'm sure you believe that, but my name is David Dowdy. That's D-O-W-D-Y, as my teachers used to say. Oh, howdy Dowdy. They were so original, Used to get me in trouble when I would respond, oh, you are so unique. I've never heard that before. So you can imagine, Howdy Dowdy grew up teachers' favorites. I say I was asked by Ralph to fill in while he's off figuring out each day, if he remembers each day, what he did for his birthday. I am the president of a local 501c3 nonprofit. It's called Healing Hands, Healing Hearts. And it originated up in the Sacramento area. And we were blessed to, I'll kind of fill you in on the storyline later, but to be able to take over that 501c3. And we've been, we're small, but we've been a real nice measure here in Bakersfield. We also have a branch up in Elk Grove, and we work up in Sacramento. I was, little history on good old Dave here. I was born here in Bakersfield, so I am a Bakersfield boy. Like a lot of us, we've escaped a few times, end up back here. But even my parents, they weren't born here, but their families moved here when they were young. And yeah, my folks ended up meeting at North High. Yeah, so they were together from high school on. It's pretty amazing. It's kind of a rarity. I went to Highland Elementary, for those of you that may know of north of the river schools, and then Standard Junior High, which my mother also attended, and then North High. Graduated from there and did some schooling at BC, and a heck of a lot of schooling in the hard knocks. Oh my goodness. But I danced around in the different industries out there in Bakersfield, and worked with Getty Oil and Hopper Incorporated. I don't know if you guys, so these are some names that may take people back, but Hopper used to be quite the steel fabricator with branches all over the place, even up in Nevada. And it was quite a great experience for a young man. I was an engineering detail designer. It's what I was my big claim to fame. Worked for Occidental International Oil as a geological draftsman for them. And did a little stint in the Army, trained at Fort Benning, and got stationed up at Fort Ord. Oh, poor me up there near Monterey, suffer as you must. But I was in the infantry. I was a dragon gunner, one of those guys that marches around with a 3-foot long tube up on your rucksack to kill tanks, Yeah, you're not quite a target for the enemy. So luckily I came out unscathed, never had to actually go to war. So I thank my lucky stars, but I honor every veteran out there like crazy. I worked for McCarthy Steel back when there was a McCarthy Steel. Been a plant superintendent for them, and Samson Steel, Magno Construction, mechanical industries. I tell you, I just bounced around out here in the world of jobs in Bakersfield in that field, the steel industry, so volatile. Well, so I come home from work one night, and my wife sees me dragging through the door, and she says, "Hon, I've heard you tell your kids, don't ever work in a job you don't love. It's just not worth spending a third of your life doing something you don't love to do. What's the benefit?" And I just felt almost embarrassed because I had been slogging through my days. And she says, you've always, dabbled in doing massage, of all things massage. And she said, why don't you just quit your job and go become a massage therapist? And I looked at her like she was joking, like a little comedian. And I sat down with that, and I started thinking. I mean, I grew up, and I'd go around with my pops. He was a fireman. Oh my God, come home and he'd be so tore up from his long duty shifts. And one of the fun things to do, he would lay on the floor in the living room and I would walk on him, get on his back, walk on him and massage him and knead him. And it became kind of a regular thing. And growing up, we'd go to family gatherings and it was, oh, is Davey here? Oh, tell Uncle Mike's shoulder hurts, or, and it was like a fun thing. And then later on, I don't know, it always stuck with me. And I read about it, and I used to work on my kids when they did sports, and I had friends, and they say, oh, Dave, oh, hey, man, do you think you can do something for my leg or my back and so it was a hobby, but it was fun. So here's my wife telling me, you need to quit a secure job with benefits and go into a field that you know nothing about, essentially, and start from scratch. and that's love, let me tell you, because I ended up doing that. And it was an adventure, and I was able to lock myself in, and I felt like definitely like starting over. It was almost like leaving high school, that feeling of, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to do this? Is this really going to work? So in January of 2007, that's when I got my license in massage. And I started out doing the Swedish and the, shiatsu and the hot stone. Those were the three basics. But it really grabbed me. And I started looking online because there weren't any schools here in Bakersfield that offered, the individual modalities for you to take. You had to take the whole programs. So I found this one school up in Citrus Heights, Healing Arts Institute, and I was looking through what they offered. And there was one, it was called Touch Therapy for the Terminally Ill. And I thought, what? A massage for the terminally ill. Okay. So I clicked on it just out of curiosity and I started reading it. And that's when it all kind of came together. And I realized the Lord has guided me to do this so that I would find myself at this moment in time. And that human small brain light bulb would go on and say, oh, that's where you need to be. So I went up to Citrus Heights and I went to the school and I took that and I got certified in the touch therapy for the terminally ill. And that was the real knowing. I said, you know what? That's where I'm going to guide my mission. I went on and I got certification in hospital-based lymphedema treatment and oncology massage, fibromyalgia treatment, and even the regular massage. I still like doing that, so I got my deep tissue certification, and I dabbled in essential oils that I could use in the hospital settings. I don't know if anybody knows what orthobionomy is, but it's more of a movement release type of thing, and I got certified in the position release, isometric release, and the phase 6 energy release, sports massage, nerve glide, which was something really new and wonderful. And I'm actually, I do energy work. I'm a Reiki 3 practitioner, which I found that doing this work with the critically, chronically, and terminally ill, being able to connect energetically as well as physically is paramount to communication. I channel God's energy through me every day, and it has reminded me every time I wake up and my feet hit the floor, there's a reason why my feet hit the floor today. I'm not going to let the bad news that you might hear on the TV or the radio and all this dampen my spirits, because if I'm being kept here, there's a reason for it, and I am going to make the best of it. I am going to find out what that reason is. And it's amazing when you start your day that way, how you start realizing there is so much more to each day than being a robot and chomping down your Cheerios, jumping in your car, heading to work, going to lunch, going back to work, go home. You know, there's that intermittent parts. There's making eye contact with people. There's remembering that there are other people out there that don't think like you, but would love to have a connection. People are afraid to connect. And when you come across the population, especially in like hospice care, you talk about life changing. That's heading towards end of life. That's when people start grabbing a hold of their shoestrings and saying, wow, what's next? You know, the embrace that you can bring to them, you don't realize it till you do it. Let me tell you that much. So I've been able to incorporate a lot of what I learned into what I do. That's why I love it when I can get a massage therapist to become one of our providers, because they have this innate ability to adapt some of the things that they've learned. And yet, I've been teaching this touch therapy for a lot of years, and the best students are the people who've never done massage before. It's phenomenal because I think their brains aren't clouded with all this other knowledge. They're just raw and waiting to learn something brand new, and so their attention is a little bit deeper. As far as touch therapy goes, what that really consists of, it's not like a regular massage. It's doesn't require any disrobing, doesn't require oils or creams. It's a very light compression work that you go from head to toe. And it's very slow and rhythmical. And it's built around the circulation, because you figure a body that's been lying stagnant, you know, your body has to move in order for the whole circulation of the body to be enacted, especially your lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is really the only one that doesn't have a built-in motor that moves it, you know, like blood and oxygen and such. So what I did was I took the training that I got, which it was initially, it was more like massage. You had to be a massage therapist to do it the way I initially learned it up north in Citrus Heights. And it was wonderful. It was a beautiful massage sequence, and it did involve using, you know, massage creams and oils and stuff. But I just got to thinking, wow, what a difficult time that could be. You know, you go into an environment, you know, you go especially like a hospital or something. They're going to want you coming in there and contaminating the area with, you know, these foreign materials and such. And what if they just got done bathing this person? You know, they're going to have to come right back in and do it again. And that's when I had decided to take my lymphedema treatment training and morph it into the touch therapy. So don't get confused. Lymphedema treatment's not like lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage is very deep and aggressive type work. But lymphedema treatment is where you're working with the lymphatic system that's closer to the surface of the skin. It's, you know, the lymph nodes that are right under the deepest layer of skin. And you don't have to dig in to get to it. There's I'm new at this, and so I have to look over at the
You're fine.
at the producer to make sure I don't miss out on these breaks. You know, I have to do it right. But you are right now listening to News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN. live at kernradio.com. Get that Kern Radio app. I'm telling you. You can watch it on YouTube at KERN Radio. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, X. Call, text 661-842-5376. 842-KERN.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Sorry, we were just running a little long there. You're gonna have like a 4-minute segment here before we pull in your first guest, okay?
Pension. That's what we do at MoneyWise. We help you organize your financial life, plan for what's ahead, and make decisions with confidence, whether retirement is around the corner or still years away. And now you'll find us in a new place, the historic Woolworths building, right in the heart of downtown Bakersfield. A piece of local history reimagined for what's next. MoneyWise, thoughtful planning, real conversations. Visit moneywiseguys.com to get started.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through LPL Financial. LPL Financial and MoneyWise Wealth Management are independently owned and operated.
You like playing around in the kitchen? Well, you've got to check out on Instagram Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen vignettes. Tiny little vignettes, many of them with Gino showing you how to cook different dishes with some of the elements that are in the delicatessen. And now he's got some of the other personnel doing it as well. They're incredibly well done, and they can break down some of the great stuff that they do right at Luigi's. And again, if you're a foodie, the delicatessen's got to be your first stop. I mean, they've got everything. I've got some of the Luigi stuff in my kitchen. I use it when I cook as well. And again, I've told you about the deli, the merchandise, the merch for kids coming up for birthdays or anniversaries or whatever. And then check out the patio. The misters are out there. It's a wonderful afternoon. Where would you rather be? But again, stop in the deli, say hello to Lynette, try one of her Italian wines. Where would you rather be than at Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Last week, New York was trading at 13% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out $712 with a win. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. Bonus credits do not expire. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk.
I've never heard that whole song. You need to listen to it, because I have decided that when my time comes and this physical body is no longer living on this side of the dirt, I want to be carried either in an urn or a casket, whatever my family decides. But that music is going to be the music played as I am being brought down through the church.
Good choice.
And because it's me, you know. People accuse me of being high all the time because I'm almost always in a good mood, and they, you know, it's kind of a nice compliment when people say, when you walk in the room, it seems a little brighter, you know, and that type of thing. So, yeah, Mr. Blue Sky, good old ELO, they hit the spot. So I was going to mention, I will be having a guest coming in. His name is, I don't know if you've ever heard of this organization, Hoffman Hospice, but it's Ross Hoffman. And I wanted to bring him in because he has fairly recently taken control of Hoffman Hospice, and his parents, they have done an incredible job, but they said, you know what, time to pass the torch. And I started, when I first came back after getting certified in the touch therapy, I was trying to find a place to do it. And I went to Optimal Hospice and sat with them and in a big boardroom, and it was 3 big wigs, and we were talking. I was explaining I'd love to volunteer and do this and this, the touch therapy, and they were looking at each other like, well, sounds really neat, but we have to figure out how we're going to charge for it, and we have to go to corporate, and they're going to, it might take some time, and I looked at them funny, like I said, no, I want to volunteer. And they said, no, we, something like this, we really have to bill for it. And I thought, man, it just broke my heart. I thought, really? I went through all this and I'm not going to be able to do it with hospice? And quite a while, actually went by before I really stuck my toe back in the water. And somebody, it was actually Pat Evans from World Records. He mentioned Hoffman Hospice. He says, have you tried them? I think they're a nonprofit. I was like, really? So I made that phone call and got a hold of their volunteer coordinator and explained to her what I was doing and what I wanted to do. And I haven't heard someone so excited since my little girl got her first Barbie, So we made a little breakfast date at a Denny's and sat there and I explained what it was. And she was just, it was like, we need you. We want you. We need this. Hoffman is going to adopt this. It's going to be a part of us. And it was at that point I really felt that relationship with myself and Hoffman. So more music, heading us into another break. But you can't wait to get back to me. So sit on the edge of your seats, boys and girls. I will be back soon.
With us are news. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he's once again trying to limit birthright citizenship in the U.S. He signed 2 executive actions on immigration. One action aims to limit the number of people eligible for U.S. citizenship after being born in the country. The second order seeks to curb birth tourism by increasing restrictions on visitors obtaining visas if they want to give birth in the U.S. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky says he's been discharged from a rehabilitation center and will continue his recovery from home. McConnell gave no specific date for his return to the Capitol, but senators are expected to soon leave Washington for the traditional August recess. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 464 points, the NASDAQ dropped 15. More details at srnnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. The debate over whether Bakersfield should become a sanctuary city is moving forward, but no policy's been adopted. Supporters say limits on local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement would help immigrant families trust police and report crimes. But opponents say the city should cooperate fully with federal authorities, and they worry a sanctuary policy could hurt public safety or federal funding. The proposal has been sent for further review. The city plans a public forum on how police currently work with immigration authorities. Kern County and Los Angeles County firefighters are working together on the Buzzard Fire near the 5 south of Lebec. If you live near the fire, you should watch out for Ready Kern messages. And if you're driving through it, check conditions before traveling through the Grapevine. And Bakersfield could reach 108 through the weekend with heat alerts extended through Sunday. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
The state of California needs money because of the way we've been spending our Medicare money. They decided that we need to talk to you guys about this. How about if we withhold $867 million from you? Will that get your attention? You now have the Trump administration, and they have greater expectations of you. So if you can't deliver, they ain't going to deliver either.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Well, welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is David Dowdy with Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, filling in for that marvelous man who decided his birthday was more important than you. See, he's so selfish sometimes. It's just But I guess we have to release the animals, let them stretch their legs. I don't know. He didn't share with me where he was going. He had asked me if I could be his transport stuff, but he apparently found it down there.
He usually asks his nephew
Yeah,
to take it. So maybe that was the
that's
case.
probably what it was. Well, folks, I mentioned to you before about relationship and how everything really got started thanks to the huge open arms of Hoffman Hospice, the only nonprofit hospice here in Bakersfield, which is the reason why Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, and the work I do is embraced so deeply by and through them. And I actually get to have, as a guest in studio, the man, the administrator, Hoffman Hospice, Ross Hoffman. Ross, welcome.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
Oh, this is marvelous. Why don't you just kind of fill everyone in a little bit about who you are?
So my name is Ross Hoffman, and so I've been the administrator for Hoffman Hospice for a few years now. And I started almost about 10 years ago over there as the director of operations. And so moved up a couple years ago, and I'm loving every second of it. It's a very rewarding position.
Yeah, it's one of those things here, especially in Bakersfield. There's so many family organizations, businesses, and such that get passed to the children, and you do hear the situations where the children say, "Oh, I don't want to do that," and the businesses just tank.
Oh yeah.
And I know that. I mean, I met you quite a while back, and the energy that you held and your involvement was great. It was like an early backbone I could see with Hoffman, and so to see you stick in there and end up where you're at now, I'm sure that your folks are just beaming with joy to see you carry that torch.
Well, I appreciate it. Ever since I was a kid, I've been involved in hospice in one way or another. I mean, since I was a little kid, it's been, around the dinner table, we're talking about random things hospice related when I'm a little kid. But I appreciate you saying that.
It's been what, 30 years?
Almost 31 years now. So, I mean, that's a big deal.
And so I know your mom, Beth. She was the last one really really involved. I mean, she was like the big nucleus. It was incredible, especially when I remember I first started with volunteering with them.
She's a big personality, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
still involved.
I
She does
know.
all the she does our development, gets those events up and running and
Yep,
going.
I know. I see her at the the volunteer luncheons
Oh, yeah.
and all that kind of thing. And
We love doing those things.
oh, the energy in those is a lot of fun.
Volunteers drive it.
And so, like I said before, Hoffman is really the only nonprofit hospice here in is it all of Kern County?
Yeah, so we're the only in Kern County, and you got to be careful because a lot of these hospices that are for profit, they'll open up a foundation of some sorts and then pose as a nonprofit. But we're genuinely the only nonprofit hospice in Kern County.
And that being that and having that responsibility, really, how does that kind of break you off and make you different than the other ones? What you have different leeways, you have different abilities to perform different things, or what? I mean, gives you.
So I guess the best way to put it, what I would say is, as a nonprofit, we serve our community, regardless whether they can pay, regardless of their ability to pay a dime, and all the profits go back into Hoffman Hospice. And so, if you have something that's for profit, then that goes usually to you fill in the blank, right? But ours, it goes directly back into whether it's the resources we have, our patients, our inpatient unit, any of those things.
That's well, as I know, you have an incredible volunteer program.
Oh yeah.
And I was it Shelley Goodell
Yes.
is your volunteer coordinator. I think I've been a volunteer with Hoffman. Jeez,
what has it been, like 17, 18?
Going on, yeah,
something
maybe
like
almost
that.
20
Long
years,
time.
I think.
Oh, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 2008.
Was it? So
Or
what,
seven or
that's
8.
18, 19 years then.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I want a brownie button, man.
You got it.
Oh, jeez. But I mean, I've been through. That's got to be one of the hardest positions at Hoffman, and really at any hospice that has volunteers, is really running that volunteer program.
So it's interesting because Shelley, she has an amazing heart, and you can
Oh,
tell
yeah.
she cares. She cares so much.
Yeah.
And that's what we really hire for. So whether it's a volunteer coordinator or an RN or
sure,
I mean, you have to hire for the right reason. You have to hire those people that actually care, that want to be there for the right reasons. It's a tough job.
Yeah. Oh no, this isn't the
hospice.
This isn't the apply for running a register 7-Eleven type of job.
Right. It's a different. You have to be wired for it, and we can see that the team we have over at Hoffman is they have the heart. They have what it takes to be amazing at what they do.
Oh, they do. It's a family. The whole place is a family. Everywhere you go, you can feel it. Mm-hmm. And well, I know, like running, Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, and getting, when I'm getting people to go out and become our therapist in the field, there's people that they start off and they're fantastic, they love it, but then after a while they realize it just dawns on them, this is too much for me. I'm not, I don't like death, or I can't handle the pressure, the sadness, or the and that's fine. That's fine. It's very understandable, and it's not wrong to feel that way. But it's hard to find the people that can essentially set aside other people and their feelings and their lives and not absorb it and take it home with you every day. It's like being a police officer. It's like being, working in a hospital, and
we have a roach ceremony over at Hoffman Hospice because they say that the average lifespan of a employee or a nurse, more specifically, over at a hospice is 2 years or less.
Oh,
and so if you come and you've been with us for 4 years, And then you get a little roach and a plaque that says you can survive a nuclear fallout, and you get a little plastic roach. And it's a fun little thing we do because it isn't easy, and people could have their heart in the right place, but it can weigh on you, and there's outlets for that, and we provide those things as well. So for our employees, so
yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, it's 24/7. There's you guys have it's just a go mentality. And I've seen it in action so many times as I've made so many visits with your patients. And so, there's a process that goes into utilizing the services. And so a lot of people don't understand what a hospice is. It's a word,
Right.
And they think, well, that's where people go to die. That's about as far as it goes. And, they make them die or something, it's about as basic as it can get.
Yeah. And, there's still misconceptions of the word. A lot of people have started to learn what hospice is, but a lot of people don't understand the process because maybe they haven't had to go through it before.
Right.
And so hospice, essentially you have a terminal diagnosis and you have 6 months or less is a Medicare definition left in your lifespan. And so we come in and we help provide that support that's needed. And so a lot of people don't understand. You can, if you're sitting at your house and you think, hey, we need to call hospice for mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, you can do that. And we'll send out an RN to your house and say, hey, we'll evaluate you, see what's going on, and see if you are appropriate. And if you are, okay. If you're not, that's okay too. We can follow up with you later. It's not a big deal. But you can call. I guess my point is, you can call whenever you need that help or that support or have a question. Like I don't know what to do right now. Call us. We'll help. Period. Exactly. Whether they're even close to hospice or not, we'll help you through the journey when you get to that point in life. And so there's so many different things that we get called for. And we're happy to help, and just in anyone's journey, whether it's a living facility or a doctor or somebody that you need referred, we're always happy to help.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And now, what is your the parameter area wise?
Oh,
in California,
yeah,
it's mainly Kern County, or
it's only Kern County. We serve mostly Bakersfield, right? And so we serve Kern County and Kern County only. And so we've been here for the community for 31 years.
Bakersfield's no small potatoes. There's a lot of people in this city.
And we want to serve all of Bakersfield. We're trying to do the best for our community each and every day. And so it's been 31 years now, and we expect it to be 30 more. And we haven't ventured out. We did that a long time ago. Years and years ago,
when I was first doing the touch therapy with Hoffman, I was sent up to Palmdale, and so I went out there and did training at Palmdale, and then you guys had another place up in like Kernville or something, Lake Isabella, and I thought, wow, man, that's rough,
and that it just ends up being, we always come back home to Bakersfield, and we want to serve this community. And so it's one of those things where, you can make it work, but it's one of those where we always just come back home and realize, you know what, this is our home. This is where we want to be. These are the people we want to take care of.
Sure. Plus, you don't want to spread yourself thin,
right?
And turn yourself into where you need a majority of the people are running it rather than doing it. And I know that's a big problem a lot of businesses have. I know, like Ralph Fergugoletti, owner of Fergatti's, fantastic man. The guy's a genius. But early on, he started and he had bootleggers, and he had Giovanni's up in Shafter.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was, because he really wanted to branch out and get all the, it was draining and it was just too much. So he said, you know what? I'm going to go back and just focus on Fergatti's. And he did, and it blossomed. And now look at it.
Oh, yeah.
If you folks out there, if you haven't been to, here I am pushing, you haven't been to the new Fragotti's, you owe it to yourself because it feels like you have stepped into Italy. It's a beautiful feeling. It's a family embrace place. Love that place. Okay, enough of that. So I know that Hoffman has a lot of programs.
Yes,
Man, do you guys have programs? So give me some highlights of like the unique programs that kind of make you guys different.
Oh man. Well, let's see. I guess what I could start with is what Hoffman Hospice has, and that no other hospice has.
That's good.
Why don't I start?
I
there?
like that.
We have our own transportation team, so we are the ones who have the vans and the transport team to go pick up your family member if they're in the hospital or somewhere that needs to be picked up and taken back home. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a huge deal.
We also have our own DME, durable medical equipment. So so the beds, the oxygen, wheelchairs.
You're not out scrounging for stuff.
We're not going out there because we give all that to you during hospice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess people don't know that.
Oh,
but
no,
if you're on
I didn't know
hospice,
that.
that's part of the
yours.
service.
You use it.
We supply you with all those things, all the things I just mentioned, plus
Wow.
more. I mean, you get that when you're on hospice care. And so we have that in-house. No other hospice has that because the reason I did that is I wanted to make sure that we were able to bring in the best equipment, have the best people working there to where now we're the ones who get to provide that service. And I know it'll be at the Hoffman level of care, right?
Right.
So we have that. We also, one of our programs is our veteran program.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, we honor veterans. We're the only 5-star in Kern County for sure. I think there's only 4 or 5 total in California. And that's basically the veteran program where we do a lot of work to make sure we honor our veterans each and every year in many, many ways.
Well, I know, I think I mentioned to you before that during the crazy COVID time, you guys went ahead and stepped up and said, we've got a lot of veterans in different care facilities, different places all around town. And you guys got together, you put together these neat, whether they, sometimes they might have been just, flowers and stuff, but there were baskets of things that everything was unique and different. And I volunteered my time and it felt so wonderful because they would have the veterans usually wheeled outside waiting for it, and you pull up and they just look at you like, oh man, during this scourge of COVID. And yet, somebody cares enough to remember I'm still here.
Oh yeah.
And with the veterans, especially the older veterans that have been through it, they need that reminding.
And we love honoring our veterans in any way we can. A lot of times we'll go do a veteran painting somewhere at an assisted living or whenever they ask, right? And a lot of times these veterans, believe it or not, have never been thanked for their service.
Yeah.
And that's the first time is when we sit there and we thank them and we pin them and we salute them and honor them. And that's amazing.
It is amazing, folks. I use the veteran care. That's, and so anytime I go into a VA facility and you see the lonely veteran sitting there, many times older one sitting in a wheelchair, may not have his legs or her legs, to go over and just acknowledge, sit down and just say hi. It means the world because they tend to be a bit reclusive and pulled back because they're treated that way. And the VA system isn't the best in the world. It's rough. It helps to have an advocate. It helps to have somebody with you. If you're just wheeled there, dropped off for an appointment or something, you tend to sit there for a long time.
One of the other fun things we do is in our inpatient unit, we sit there and if a veteran passes away at our home, we'll drape a flag over to their bed for 24 hours in honor of them.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The family can visit or whatnot, but that's really just so we honor them. No matter what, that flag's draped over them, that bed.
All right, folks, I think we're getting ready to head to another joyous break. Stay tuned for more.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Central Valley, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Welcome back. My goodness, time flies. I could see why Ralph is turning so gray. Time goes by so fast. Yes. So we're here with Ross Hoffman from Hoffman Hospice. He's been, I'm just so happy that he took the time to come in here and be my guest because, you know, this is kind of a hospice-oriented show today. And who better than somebody who runs the only nonprofit hospice in Kern County and the best, I guess I'm biased, but the best.
Well, it's a fact.
It's a fact. It's a fact. Well, and let me tell you something real quick. You know, I was looking, and they in 2026, they won 5 categories for the Bakersfield, California Readers' Choice poll: the best nonprofit organization, best hospice, best favorite locally owned place to work, best favorite nonprofit event, which is the Voices of Light, which you need to touch on too. Mm-hmm. The best favorite specialty service, grief support services. Mm-hmm. Now, for one organization to capture all those areas, that does say something, just something about that organization. So, some more of the areas I want you to cover. We were talking about, you know, the services when you're when people are going to go into service and understanding that.
Yeah. So, kind of, I touched on it a little bit, but everybody should know that if you are interested or have just questions about hospice service, the best way to go about it is give us a call, period. So what happens is, hey, I think mom or dad needs to be on service. Give us a call. We'll send out a registered nurse to evaluate your mom or dad. And then from there, they'll say, okay, mom's appropriate. And then we tell you how to move forward from there. Okay. And then after that, you get a whole team of individuals, a whole care team with an RN, an LVN, a hospice aide, a social worker, a chaplain. You got your NPs, you got your doctors, you got all these people working for you, for whoever the patient is, right? And so they all work together collaboratively and make sure that you're taken care of, or your loved one is taken care of. And so after they come on service, you get visits from all these people on a consistent basis, and they sit there and help you along the way. They help you through the disease process of what's it going to look like in a week, a month, a year, whatever it is, and kind of help you along. And it's something that if people don't understand hospice, what I like to say is just give us a call. It costs nothing,
right?
We do it for you for free. We'll send someone out there to evaluate. It doesn't cost a dime. And we'd be more than happy to come help along. Even if your loved one isn't appropriate, we'll figure out a way to help and say, hey, maybe you should try this.
Right.
They're not appropriate right now, but let's try this. Let's do that, and then
point them in the right direction.
Right. Because we're not just here to, we're not going to help you unless you get on hospice.
Right.
No, we'll help you along no matter what. That's just how we do things.
Exactly. That's why I keep using that word family with Hoffman, because you do. I mean, you feel like you have been adopted.
I love how you say that. Yeah.
And I've been with hundreds of families just in the decades that I've been doing the work with Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a short one. So we will be taking another break here. I love the music. It reminds my ears to say, hold on, folks. We'll be back.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour.
Yeah, you guys got about 5 minutes till we come back.
Washington. Senator Mitch McConnell is returning to his home.
Kentucky Republican Senator Mitch McConnell says he's leaving a rehabilitation center and will continue his recovery from home. The 84-year-old former Senate Majority Leader was first admitted to a hospital almost 2 months ago. McConnell disclosed weeks later he fell and was undergoing physical therapy. He gave no specific date for his return to the Capitol, but senators are expected to leave Washington soon for the traditional August recess. McConnell's absence shrinks the Republican majority in the Senate. He is determined to finish out his 7th term, which ends in January. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The lasting effects of traumatic brain injuries are raising fresh concerns about the toll of the Iran war on American troops.
Military officials say the majority of American troops wounded in the Iran war have suffered traumatic brain injuries. Nearly 700 U.S. service members have been wounded by drone and missile attacks. Most had mild symptoms and have returned to duty, but traumatic brain injuries can have symptoms that last for years.
Light sensitivity, migraines that are periodic, get dizzy very easily, vertigo.
Marine veteran Joe Shearer says he's still plagued with symptoms after surviving 2 mortar blasts in Iraq in 2005. Experts say screening, early treatment, and support can be crucial. I'm Jennifer King.
A Spokane County detective who interviewed the man accused of starting one of the city's wildfires says the man planned it for 2 weeks. Detective Michael Drapeau said in a court filing Wednesday that Aaron Farinacci confessed to sparking the Old Trails fire. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 464 points, the Nasdaq dropping 15, the S&P 500 lower by 13. More at townhall.com.
The
following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at two different options: debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The debate over whether Bakersfield should become a sanctuary city is moving forward, but no policy has been adopted. I'm Rob Archer. Supporters say limiting local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement would help immigrant families trust police, report crimes, and use city services without fear. Opponents say the city should cooperate fully with federal authorities. They worry a sanctuary policy could hurt public safety or threaten federal funding. The city council has sent the proposal for further review. The city also plans a public forum explaining how police currently work with immigration authorities. Kern County and Los Angeles County firefighters are working together on the Buzzard Fire near the 5 South of Lebec. The fire started when a vehicle caught fire and it spread into dry grass. Kern County crews are working from the north, while Los Angeles County firefighters attack from the south. Aircraft are supporting crews in the steep terrain. People near the fire should watch for Ready Kern alerts. Drivers should check road conditions before heading to the Grapevine. Extreme spring heat has caused major losses for Kern County pistachio growers. County agriculture officials expect more than half of this year's crop to be lost, worth an estimated $396 million. Hot weather in March disrupted pollination and nut development. The county has asked the state for a disaster declaration. Consumers could also see higher pistachio prices. The dangerous heat will last through the weekend. Heat alerts have been extended across Kern County and Bakersfield, possibly reaching 108 through Sunday. An extreme heat warning covers the desert and Indian Wells Valley, where temperatures could reach or top 110. Cooling centers are open until 8. If you need a free ride, call 211. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest, well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. My name is David Dowdy. I'm the president of the 501c3 nonprofit Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, based right here in Bakersfield, and also a branch up in Elk Grove, serving all the way up into Sacramento. And this afternoon, right now, I've had the joyous honor of having Ross Hoffman, the administrator of Hoffman Hospice, join us to help educate us all, even myself, even though I've been volunteering with them since like 2008. There's a lot I really don't know, and I've been learning today. It's been wonderful. And so he's going to fill us in a little bit on the ropes. Let's call it the ropes, what it takes when that time comes and you're making a decision. And you have that freedom to make a decision of whatever hospice care you want. But it sure is nice to know if you can start at the top of the menu. So let us know, what is it involve? What, give us a scenario or something.
A lot of people just when they start with hospice care, they don't know what to do because they never had to deal with it, right?
Right.
And so it's just a different avenue that they never traveled down before, and so they don't know what to do. But let me start with saying you can pick. You have the right to choose any hospice you want. So even if somebody tells you no, you have to go with this hospice, that's just untrue. You pick whatever you think is best for you and your loved one. Period. They cannot tell you can't go to a hospice. So whatever hospice you want to go to, preferably Hoffman because you'll get the best care.
Right.
But just know that because we hear a lot of times that somebody will say, "Oh, well, you can only use this hospice or that hospice." That's just not true. And so I wanted to bring that point up because
so your insurance doesn't have
we take every single insurance there is.
Okay.
And so any insurance you have in town, we can cover. And that's one of the benefits, like we touched on. We're a nonprofit. We're going to help you, period.
Exactly.
No matter what, we will help you. And whether that's hospice care or any other way we can, we will be there for you. So that's an important point to hit on. I mean, there's been so many times, I can't even tell you, that we have other hospice personnel working for different hospices call us for their loved ones so we can take care of their mom or dad. And so that happens constantly, and it's an honor, and and I appreciate that because they know where to get the best care.
Well, sure. I remember early on when I was doing volunteer work with Hoffman. One of my visits was in a home, but it was a group home type situation. And you could tell it was for really, it might have been mostly homeless.
Mm-hmm.
And so I show up and it was over off of East California. It was kind of tucked into a neighborhood that I probably, wouldn't go to unless I was on a mission. And I go in there and there's this room and there were like 6 beds lined up around the room, around the walls, and this little old guy lying in one of the bed, and I introduced myself. And when he found out what I was there for, to do this touch therapy, he started crying and smiling, and he said, I feel real. I feel like I am, And that was another reminder of why I loved volunteering through Hoffman. So go ahead. I had to throw that out.
No, I mean, and that's exactly why Hoffman got started almost 31 years ago now. If you know the story of, I don't know if you know.
I really don't.
But my parents used to have a home health agency. So we would go and do home health services 30-something years ago. And they were taking care of an AIDS patient. And she was a mother of 2. And at that time, AIDS was a big, nobody wanted to touch it. Everybody was scared to death, didn't know what to do, what to think.
Right.
So they took care of this mom of 2. And then when it got point to hospice care, they went out to all the hospices that were available, right, in Bakersfield, in Kern County, and said, hey, this mom really needs help. They're ready for hospice. Can you take them? Every single one denied that mom because they're scared of what they didn't know. Right. So what my family did was they took care of that mom until she passed away, and it was about another 2 years. And they took care of her and her kids for the next 2 years, passed away. And that's what sparked Hoffman Hospice and the nonprofit status, right?
Yes.
Where no matter what, we'll be able to take care of people in need. And so that's what's so special about Hoffman Hospice. That's where it came from. And that's what we try to remember every day.
See, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is that kind of grassroots, starting when you're working from your compassion and your love for your fellow human beings, and realizing, hey, this is not right. There's got to be something that we can do, and so that's why I've been sticking with doing the healing hands, healing hearts, and the touch therapy, because you don't hear about that.
And it matters.
It does. And when you can go in and provide a service to somebody who feels invisible, who feels worthless, who feels like they're just a burden, and yet you go in and there's no strings attached. You're there for them 100%, and they can stop you and start you anytime they want during the session. It gives them back that feeling of connection with, I can make a choice. I actually have a say here. This is for me. This isn't someone just coming in to change my bedding or change my diaper or feed me or bathe me. This is strictly so that I can find comfort, care, and relaxation. And so
it's pretty special.
It is, and that's why I say I found that special thing with Hoffman, because Hoffman just absorbed it.
Oh yeah.
Even, I mean, I don't know, I mean, we were tapped a number of times to provide the touch therapy training for your CNAs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I like to, let's do this on air. I'd like to do that again.
Oh yeah.
Because you got the facility out there, the Hoffman home. That's something else I want you to touch on.
Yeah.
That facility.
Yeah, and just to digress a little bit, the CNA program, absolutely, because that's something that all our patients could benefit from.
Exactly.
But our inpatient, we're the only hospice in Kern County that has an inpatient unit,
and it's incredible.
It's a beautiful facility, and we work hard to maintain it and manage it and make sure it's up to Hoffman standards, right? So, but it's basically a place where we have 12 beds for our GIP side, and what GIP side is if the patient is having symptoms out of control, right?
Right.
They can come over here and we can manage them, take them out of the hospital, manage them in our inpatient unit, and have them stay there until they're managed, and then we can take them home whenever they're managed and feeling comfortable and good to go. And then we have six beds RCFE. I haven't hit on that, but residential care facility for the elderly, and so we have a 6-bed RCFE in that same building. And so it's somewhere where you don't have to have a hospice diagnosis. It's where people can come and live when they get to that stage in life. So
wow, they can't care for themselves. They have somebody. They don't have anyone to care for them.
Right. Well, yeah. Usually they'll go to assisted living or a different RCFE, and we're just another branch of that. And we thought it's important to be able to care for some of those people that we can. And so
it's something I noticed, because I've been there a number of times working on your clients. And the rooms that they're in they're big. It's very spacious. Got big bathrooms with showers. They got sofas with pull-out beds in case a family member says, "Hey, I want to be here in case they pass tonight."
And that happens daily.
Yeah.
I mean, people stay there all the time, and we encourage it.
And you've got like a big sliding glass door that empties out into a beautiful garden area that's so relaxing. I mean, you can open the curtains and they can be lying in their bed. They're not staring at a barred window or a chalkboard on a wall or something. They're looking outside and seeing what's going on outside in big picture. And they can get up if they're ambulatory. They can go and feel outside. They're not in a prison cell.
And I don't know if you know this, but we have oxygen outside for that specific reason, so they can.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we have it on the outs. Every room has it, and so if they want to be wheeled outside and they're on oxygen and need oxygen, we're able to.
Piped out there too.
Yep. We tried to think of everything.
And you also, I mean, when somebody does transition, and you're not like a lot of facilities where they bring in an ambulance or not so much an ambulance, but a service, load them on a gurney and push them down the hallway past all the doors of everyone else. You guys have like almost like a secret passageway of a way to move around so that you can avoid that.
Yeah, and we want it to be dignified as much as we can, and so it's kind of a back route where we have a big wall to cover it while they get into the vehicle to be taken off, and so it's somewhere where it's not obtrusive,
right?
It doesn't offend the family or your loved one.
Because I've been in a lot of the facilities here in Bakersfield. And I won't name names. I almost did. I won't do that. I've a number of times I'll be in a room with a client, and you'll see them pushing a gurney with a person all covered up down the hallway, and the person I'm with goes, "Oh, Mr. Jones,"
Right.
you know, and
That's
and
tough.
it's like, wow, it's
Yeah.
almost it feels like,
Right.
it's hard. And so what do I turn back to them and say, gee, hey,
Right.
let's talk about something.
Right.
Let's smile now,
Yeah. That's the tough. We try to keep it as closed off as possible.
Yeah, no, that's what I love. And like I say, the whole facility feels, even out in the hallway, it doesn't feel like, some kind of medical facility hallway. You have a beautiful carpeted area. You have a wonderful chapel too, don't you?
Oh, beautiful chapel. And one of our chaplains, Randy, he does a service every month for the staff and patients in the facility. And it's an amazing, really, you have to see the facility to appreciate it. So I would encourage anybody out there that's listening, if they want to come down, I will give them a tour. I don't mind doing that. And so come on down, ask for me, and I'll give you a tour of the whole facility so you can see and you can ask those questions that you may not know. I would be more than happy to.
No, also, wasn't it the way the facility was designed?
Mhm.
It's so that it makes it a lot easier to add on if you guys want to grow.
Yeah, yes, you can. If we
you
wanted to
decide.
add on that middle wing, we could.
I think we've actually got a caller.
Yes.
Love it.
If it's my mom, I'll have to,
No, Susan's on the line real quick.
Hi, Susan. This is Dave with the Ralph Bailey Show. What would you like to ask or comment about?
Well, I wanted to say thank you to the Hoffman people.
I appreciate that so much.
They were amazing for my dad.
Oh my goodness. Was this fairly recent?
It was during COVID.
Oh yes.
And we picked hospice, and they were absolutely horrible. Horrible.
Oh no.
And it was a nightmare for us. And somebody told me, no, not all hospice is good. So they told me it was our pastor, and he said, call Hoffman. So I did, and they came out immediately. They came and helped transition everything. The girl, because it was during COVID time, she actually stayed with us and did not leave. She sat by my dad's side the whole time, and she was just absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. And that's kind of the expectation that we set. So I appreciate you saying that, Susan, and we're honored to have cared for your loved one.
Oh, yeah. You guys did, absolutely amazing. And then the people that they gave us a number to have my dad, taken care of and taken out of the home. And it was simply cremation. And they did, because my dad was a Marine.
Oh, yes.
And they did an amazing, respectful way of removing him and leaving a single red rose on the pillow where he lay.
Oh man, that's just.
I get chills when I hear your
I do
story.
too. I just got goosebumps. I mean, being a veteran myself, and it's just the honor of knowing that they're recognized in such a deep, embracing way, especially and to include the family. For you to feel this way, it really touches my soul.
Yeah, they wrapped him so gently. They were so respectful. They gave us plenty of time to say our goodbyes, and the little touch of that one rose, which we still have. It's like, we will always remember how well he was taken care of.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I will totally tell anybody that is going through this, do not look up in the phone book for any hospice, because they're not all the same. They're horrible. They have no respect for your family member. They just don't care.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's about as resounding a promotion as I could see. Thank you. Oh, your love, your love. Thank you for sending your love this way.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome. I can't say any more, but just thank you.
Oh,
we were honored. We appreciate you.
Have a
Thank you.
beautiful rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, folks. It looks like we're going to head into another one of those incredible breaks. Allows me to not use the cough button. Isn't that amazing? All right. It's been fantastic so far. I'll be back to you after the break.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Look, folks, you already know that your garage door is a very important part of your home, from the overall look of the place to the safety and security it provides. So obviously, you should only trust the service, repair, and maintenance of your garage door to the pros at King Door Company. Their skill and product knowledge are unmatched in the industry, and that's no accident. The techs at King Door are rigorously trained at the King Door Academy. That's right, King Door has an in-house training facility to make sure your job is done right on the first try. They're trained in all the latest equipment, tools, and techniques. They even learn how to listen to customer concerns through role-playing exercises. And you'll see how well all this training works when they show up right on time in fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and equipment to service or repair any garage door. Like I said, your garage door is a very important part of your home, so leave it to the pros at King Door Company. Schedule your appointment today at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, the company with the pride of a lion.
You know, it must be nice to be able to retire like Serena Williams and then say, I'm unretired. But for most of us, that's not the case. When we hang it up, that's about it. That's why you've got to be prepared for the late fourth quarter in your lives. And that's why I always stress that the smartest financial move I have ever made happened about 10 years ago when I became a client at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And the other thing I always remind you about, I've turned on colleagues here at American General Media to Daniel, and they could not be happier about what Daniel has done for them financially. Call Daniel Petrie at 395-9400, 395-9400, or just tune in on Thursdays. He appears here every Thursday at 4:30, and his office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Daniel Petrie, the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client.
Yeah, you'll have another 4 minutes here before we go to the news break.
Discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Here we are, entering back onto the magical airwaves. I'm telling you what, sitting behind this microphone can give you a big head. Just ask Ralph. I love that man, really do. My name is Dave Dowdy with Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, a local 501c3 nonprofit. And I've had in the studio here Ross Hoffman, the administrator for Hoffman Hospice, and he's been educating us a bit on the reality of what Hoffman service is and how they have really changed the face of hospice care. So, say we were talking about like admissions.
Yeah.
You know, and what it takes. You said it. I mean, I love the fact that your organization, that Hoffman is just ready at the wheel to do what it takes, to talk to them, to come out, to provide whatever type of personnel that you have that you can apply to that situation. And you do have quite a bevy of different people to choose from that can fit the bill. I mean, I know that the service that you have provided that I've seen has always been stellar. And anytime there's ever a complaint, it's more of a complaint about just the exhaustion and the pain, and you get worn out, and so nothing is going to be good.
Well, caregiver burnout is real.
Oh, very real.
And there's something that a level of care that we call respite, and so a respite level of care is. And that's where our home comes in. So if you need a break, you've been taking care of mom or dad or whoever, and need a caregiver break, we will take them over in our hospice home to ensure they get that 5 days where they can go on a trip or just stay home and relax and take a step back and enjoy their lives a little bit.
In situations where, let's say they have to, the caregiver has to go to an appointment of their own. Do you have something set up where you can have somebody come out and kind of babysit in a sense, or?
Yeah, kind of. We have our volunteer program.
Right, that's what I mean.
That's where the volunteers will come in. And so if you need to go grocery shopping or to a doctor's appointment or something like that, all you have to do is call Shelly and over at Hoffman Hospice, and she will get a volunteer set up at the time and the day that you want. So then you can take or go shopping or do whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah. And see that type of attention is, I don't know, it's almost unheard of, because that little break for the caregiver can mean the world.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal.
It really is, just to step away for an hour, couple hours, whatever it is. Because I asked that open-endedly because I did that as a volunteer too, as I went out and did some of the respite care, and it was great. I never saw caregivers so appreciative.
Oh yeah, they just need help sometimes.
Like, really? There's the fridge if you need anything. It's like beer, peanuts. There's the game on. No, got another break coming up, and we will be right back. Listening to News Talk 96.1 AM 1230 KERN and FM 96.1. See. Yeah, listen to that.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Police say a man charged with starting one of the wildfires in Spokane, Washington that have destroyed hundreds of buildings planned the crime for weeks and researched when the weather would be best for igniting it. Detective Michael Drapo said in a court filing Wednesday that Aaron Farinacci confessed to sparking the fire, described his planning process, and explained how he created a device to ignite the blaze. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky says he's been discharged from a rehabilitation center and will continue his recovery from home. McConnell gave no specific date for his return to the Capitol, but senators are expected to soon leave Washington for the traditional August recess. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 464 points. The Nasdaq dropped 15. More details at srnnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. Kern County and Los Angeles County firefighters have teamed up on the Buzzard Fire near the 5 south of Lebec. Kern County crews are working the northern side, while Los Angeles County firefighters attack from the south. Aircraft are also helping in that steep, rugged terrain. The fire started when a vehicle caught fire and flames spread into dry grass. People near it should stay alert for Ready Kern messages. Drivers should take a look at road conditions before traveling through the grapevine. Closing arguments are underway in the murder trial of Rafael Estrada. He's accused of stabbing his estranged wife to death in front of her kids at an East Bakersfield apartment. The case is expected to go to the jury after closing arguments. And heat alerts have been extended through Sunday. Bakersfield could reach 108 through the weekend. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1230 KERN.
Hey folks, Jeff Salters here, noted barbecue guy. That's right, Bakersfield's best barbecue. And I'm here with my good friend Michael Binge. You know him as, hey folks, it's Michael Binge, noted barbecue connoisseur. So I'm going to do a little on-the-spot interview here. Michael Binge, you come here once, twice a year now. You get to come hang out. Your family's here. And every time you come, I know you always get you just a grip of barbecue. So Michael Binge, what's your favorite Salty's barbecue item?
Well, you know, bud, I have to get a bunch of food because I got a big family out here. So we always load up on family packs. Could be 2, could be 3, but then we have to get extra bread and extra sides and spicy mac and cheese and the green beans. They absolutely love that stuff. So you know what I'll be doing? I'll be doing that tomorrow night.
You can find us at 9425 Rosedale Highway or 6801 White Lane. Or if you want, you can go to saltysbbq.com and order online.
Salty's Barbecue and Catering.
California Grill,
Texas approved. Oh, it's good.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Dr. Sam Woggood, transfer to the University of California in San Francisco, was asked, can only women get pregnant? And that was asked by Representative Mary Miller. You know what? He couldn't answer it. That's what I'm talking about, because everybody listening to me right now knows that only women can get pregnant in the human race.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Oh, yes. Here we are, another beautiful Thursday in the thriving metropolis of Bakersfield, California, where you can go outside, put your lounge chair out, and it only takes 20 seconds to get skin cancer, I heard. That's not bad. It's getting better and better. Pretty soon we're going to set a record for molten lava skin right here on the sidewalk. Oh, my gosh. Hey, I started to sound like Shotgun Johnny Ringo, Cafe 55. And for all you old folks out there, that was a mainstay name. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So here we are. My name is Dave Dowdy, with president of Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, a 501c3 nonprofit here in Bakersfield. And I've had here at the magical desk, the administrator for Hoffman Hospice, Ross Hoffman. He's been regaling us with more information than even I knew. And here I've been tied with them for decades, and I'm loving this. I'm learning so much. So, a little more.
Something else, Hoffman does one thing that we do that nobody else does. We're the only one in town that actually takes care of our pediatric patients. So no other hospice takes care. And it's called our Starlight Pediatric Program.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and that is, that is not easy as well.
No.
Obviously, that's a tough job. But our nurses, our doctors in that division are amazing.
That's got to take a special breed.
It is, and we have special nurses and special doctors and special NPs that oversee that. And
do you have someone in particular that is the head of that, or?
Yeah, so we have Tim Boone, who's our pediatric PCM, our pediatric manager, and then Jennifer Ignacio, our NP for our pediatric team, and she is amazing. And then all the nurses that make up that group are something else. Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough about the people we have at Hoffman. I mean, they're the ones who they're the boots on the ground. They're the ones who make it run. They're the ones who give us the reputation because they care, right? And because they want to go above and beyond every day.
Exactly.
I can say it's on blue in the face, but it doesn't matter because I need them to do it.
Really good feedback from them too about what can be done to make it even better.
Oh yeah.
Rather than more, not complaining as much as just saying, hey, there's, we're coming up short in this area. Let's close the gap. Let's do this and this. And I know you guys listen because I've seen changes and just the morphing of making things better. It's been incredible.
And we're not, I'm not out there with our patients every day.
Right.
You know, they are. And so if they have great suggestions, I'm always open to hear. And it doesn't mean I'm going to say yes every time,
No,
but
but-
I mean, most of the time, if it's something that we agree with and it's going to help our patients and families, at the end of the day, that's all I care about. If it helps patients and families, then we're probably going to be implementing it. And so that's kind of where everything I go back. Is it going to help my patients, my families? Then the answer is yes.
And I know that when you're talking about with children, I mean, it's a completely different scenario when you're dealing with a child in hospice care, and there's an entirely different realm of sensitivity that goes into it, especially too with the parents or the caregiver, because this is a life that just hasn't been here very long, and in a sense, you feel like, man, it hasn't been given a chance, and so you've got that heavy weight, that dark cloud automatically before you guys even enter the room to visit with them, to see them, and that's got to be it's got to be hard to face and to get them to understand that you're under that dark cloud with them. They're not alone.
Yeah, and we walk alongside you every step of the way, and that's the whole point. But in hospice, it's people think, oh, just go to hospice to pass away.
Right.
It's not about that. Hospice is really about living the rest of your life how you want to live the rest of your life, because you've been diagnosed with a terminal illness, you've gone through all the treatments, you've tried what you tried, but it's inevitable. And so live on your terms. Don't sit there and go through what is unnecessary. And so that's really what I feel like hospice needs to be classified as, hey, you're going to live your life on your terms. You're not going to do it on anybody else's. It's you. What do you want to do? And then live out that life the best you can.
Yeah, it's kind of a filtration system. I mean, you let them tell you what they want, what they need, how they feel, and you guys take all those elements in and you filter it through, and you say, well, here's a possible scenario for you. Here's something that we can help you achieve, and you include the whole family in that.
Yep.
That's something else I can't emphasize enough. I don't know how many times I've been into a Hoffman client's home, and it just feels embracing. It doesn't feel cold. It doesn't feel. I mean, you won't find the family member or whoever it is tucked in a back room somewhere with the door closed, and then slipping food under the door every so often. I mean, it's always an embracing environment, and you guys make sure that the caregiver, that's something else, the caregiver is paid attention to also.
Absolutely, because we're taking care of our patients and the families. The families are a huge, huge part. They're suffering as well because they're caregiving for their mom or dad or whoever's on hospice, and they need a break. They need to understand what's happening. They need somebody to walk alongside them that's been through it, that understands how to go through it, and to help them along the whole way. It doesn't stop with our patient and family. It extends to the rest of the family.
And it also extends after their loved one transitions. You guys have a wonderful service for getting people together. You don't just drop them off and say, well, hey, nice doing business with you later.
Yeah.
No,
we have an amazing grief support.
Yes, you
we
do.
We have classes pretty much every day of the week for different reasons, right? And so we have classes almost every single day. And we also do a lot in our bereavement program where we're sitting there sending out a candle at the year mark to remember your loved one with their name on it. It's pretty special. We just started doing that not too long ago.
Just got the high sound. I think we've got another caller coming in.
We do. Tom is on the line.
Tom, welcome to. I recognize that laugh. You can't disguise yourself, Mr. Tom Cox.
You mentioned about working with children, and one of my most touching experiences was a young fellow, Hispanic, who was maybe 12 years old, who'd been a challenge his whole life. And the family was around. There was not much communication available, but the love that was surrounding this child was palpable. and to act as, man, it was one of the most touching experiences that I've had. I worked with Hoffman when working with Healing Hands, Healing Hearts for the past dozen years.
Yeah.
And it stayed with me. And just the whole opportunity to work with the clients that we've had, man, it's been such a blessing.
Well, I know that you've been into situations over all these years that, you kind of go in and it's like, wow, how do I address this? Especially with the language situation, that happens a number of times where it's a different language being spoken in the home. And so you can't really communicate. So it's all done through action and smiles and eye contact. And I know you've come out on top a number of times that way.
And love.
Yes.
Once you have an open heart, which is pretty much my purpose of going into a home, is to let the client know that everything's okay. Depends on the person, but everything's okay. You can go ahead and let go, because there's so many times that the family is trying to hold on to them.
Yes.
And the patient, the client does not have the desire to leave, to leave the family wanting them there.
Oh, yeah.
And so to act as an intermediary, non-discretionary or I don't have an opinion, but to let them know everything's okay has been such a blessing.
It is. It's a great channel. And you know what? I got to stop here for a sec, because I want everyone to realize something. Right now, there are three men. Women, I want you to hear this. There's 3 men here talking about something. It isn't sports. It isn't cars. We care, okay? We do have hearts, and we do love beyond our belt buckles. It's a rare moment, really, because this field is typically looked at as women are the nurturers. Hey,
yeah, that's true.
You know what? We guys, we got a say in this, folks. I really
Things were going so well until just now.
Yeah. I appreciate you calling in, Tom, and
Thanks,
I
Tom.
appreciate everything you've done for Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, and the clients you've seen of Hoffman's. It's been great, and you got more to go.
Appreciate you,
Such
Tom.
a privilege. Anyway, thank you.
Thank
and
you,
you're
my
doing
friend.
great
All
so
right.
far.
All right. Thanks.
Bye now, Dave.
Bye.
Good to talk to you both.
All right. Bye. Oh, that was great. Yeah, Tom's been a wonderful human being involved in what we do.
Yes.
And it's funny. I met him when we were at Bakersfield Body Work and Massage, and we were both, starting out in massage.
Yeah.
So we took classes together, and you don't ever want us to take a class together, because we're like 2 little kids. We got in so much trouble. We both have sensitive humors, and so we make silly jokes, and the teachers would always be like, can you settle down over there? It's like, oh my goodness. Oh. And so, see, I think we were talking about the children.
Mhm.
And I like I said, that's amazing to me. The way you guys have embraced the children and the veterans. You also have a deal with animals, right? With like, especially with dogs, make visits.
Yeah. So, and we're introducing a new program where we're going. It hasn't even started yet, but no, we have our Hoffman Hounds, and so and so they're trained dogs that go in to visit patients and families, and it just helps them. They'll go into the facilities, they'll go into our facility, they'll go into homes, whatever you need them to do. It's another way of therapy for us.
It really is. I've seen it done. I mean, I've seen like online and things like that, and I know that Hoffman's been doing it for a little while.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be
beefing it up.
Yes, we're going to be beefing up a little bit here.
Because I know it is another element that's really great with veterans that have PTSD issues, because there's this thing about, especially a dog. I don't want to be, prejudiced against other animals, but dogs tend to make the best companions in this situation. And they have a sense, they can sense when a person is dying.
Oh, yeah.
And when a person is hurt, when a person is pulled back, I think they can actually see your energy, your aura, and they know how to approach you, and they're not going to judge you like a person. And so the person that they're visiting treats that dog, I mean, like gold. I mean,
they do, and it's a powerful thing to just watch because maybe they didn't even want to die. I've seen a few times where they say, no, I don't want any animals. And then they see the dog walk by, go visit another one. And then says, oh, let me see that. And then the dog will, pretty soon enough, the dog will be up on the bed with that patient and they're just both in therapy. And it's pretty powerful.
Well, heck, I was seeing a client there at the Hoffman home and they brought in a small horse.
Yes.
Now, I'm working on them. I'm busy doing this. And they said, oh, hate to interrupt, but we've got a visitor. And then all of a sudden, they're walking around the corner into the room with this little horse. And I was just, this is so cool.
There were also bunnies. There were also mini goats. Dave, we try to find creative ways to help our patients and families. And it's a little animal farm. Well, they'll come out and come visit our patients and families, and if you don't want to see a mini horse, you don't have to.
You don't have to, right?
I mean, it's pretty when you see a mini horse walking through the hallways. It's
hard to miss, But I mean, it was things like that. It's constantly, and that's why I have dedicated, Healing Hands, Healing Hearts. We are not a big organization, and we do get donations, and we have relegated the majority of our donated money to see Hoffman patients, just for that reason, because you've really earned our respect. We want to be tied to an organization that gives and loves and cares and goes above and beyond and embraces. It reminds us of exactly what we're there for. And so, we're going to continue doing that. Our board of directors has, given thumbs up every time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Our patients benefit huge
I'm
by
hoping
you guys being a part of it.
I'm hoping we can grow. I'm hoping that the listeners out there will say, Healing Hands, Healing Hearts. Wow. If we donate money to them, it will help them see more people. Wow, what a concept. Oh, yes. It's up to you guys. But every dollar counts, because the nice thing about Healing Hands, Healing Hearts is we don't have a brick and mortar. So when we get any donations, huge lion's share of it goes right towards being able to go see the patients. Pay a little bit for our insurance and things like that, but no, we're lucky so far. I say that now, but as you grow, so you must. So there may be that day where we need to have that building and a desk and a computer and all that stuff. But in the meantime, we're on the road, baby, because that's where the people are. They're not in our office. But this has really been wonderful. And so if someone, let's say, wants to volunteer, that's another arena that is really big with Hoffman. I've always been very impressed with the volunteer program since day one, and it has done nothing but improve, because it seems like there's it's not just people that you bring in and say, oh, hey, go visit people. That's not the volunteer program. Give us an idea of the variety of things that volunteers can do with Hoffman.
Absolutely. The volunteers are the heart of hospice, just so you know. I mean, they are the ones who started it way back when. But at Hoffman, we have so many different ways. So we just talked about the Hoffman Hounds. That's one way. So if you want to get your dog certified, come chat with us. And then we have our inpatient unit where you can go visit patients if you want. Our residential care facility right there, you can go visit those patients if you want. You can also do administrative work in our inpatient unit or at our outpatient unit. And so you'll do paperwork or help put together some marketing materials or things like that. There's so many different things that everybody can help with that there's a lot to list. But something else that I really like, we started a Bingo Babes. And so we have a group of volunteers that goes out and they do Bingo Babes with facilities, and they'll go out and play bingo with all the residents and have prizes, and they got fancy Bingo Babe shirts and everything. And so there's that we started not too long ago, and it's pretty cool. You can help with doing the candles. So we have candles that we send out. Exactly. I mean, there's so many things. You can come into the office and help do paperwork, and there's a lot of different ways that we can, if you are interested in volunteering, I encourage you to give us a call, because we'll find a spot for you no matter what, and something that you're comfortable with. We don't want you doing something that you don't really want to do. And so,
that's something I learned right away was the demand isn't on you. The demand is the volunteers on Hoffman, as far as saying, I only have 2 hours a week that I can donate.
And our events, we have a bunch of events that they can volunteer at. There's so many ways you guys can volunteer, so that's up to you.
All right, folks, I have a feeling that it's time to take another break. God, Ralph, you got the job, man. Break time. I'm digging this. I'm going to have to boot you. We'll see you guys back shortly.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
If you're a local businessman and you take your IT seriously, there are two things that you absolutely need to do. One, you need to listen to the Ralph Bailey Show on Wednesdays at 3:30 when Jennifer and Ryan Van Alstyne, owner-operators of Adaptive Networks, come in, basically talking to business folks on what you should be looking for, what should be alarm bells when people are coming back and fixing the same thing over and over again. And the next thing you need to do is pick up the phone and call the Van Alstynes at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638, 241-0638. As I have talked about so often, we have teamed up for almost a year with American General Media and Adaptive Networks, because as a radio station, we absolutely depend on our IT. So we had to go to a team that was reliable, competent, and has the best customer service in Kern County. If you're a serious business person, call the folks at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638 or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The kids of KCXC Elite are chasing big dreams, the national championships, college opportunities, and a better future. KCXC Elite is a national-level cross-country and track program that won 3 straight national titles for our community. But as the team grows, so does the need. Many talented athletes come from families that can't afford travel, gear, or entry fees. Without help, those kids risk being left behind, missing the chance to compete on the biggest stages. Coach Ryan, Stacy, and their volunteer coaches are reaching out to the community for support. Their next goal is the National Cross Country Championships in Tallahassee this December, and they need your help to get every kid there. Please donate today. Call or text Coach Ryan at 661-747-1603 or visit kcxcelite.com to learn more and give. KCXC Elite is an AAU registered affiliate. Donations may be tax tax deductible. All funds go directly to the athletes. Any gift helps. Let's keep a junior Olympian's dream alive.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Welcome back. Welcome back. What a joy it has been. This is David Dowdy filling in for the most incredible human being on the face of the earth. He paid me $20 to say that, Ralph Bailey. And it has been a joy. It's quite an honor. I'm on the one-timers list. You know, if you ever watch Saturday Night Live, they wear the jacket, you know, and so I need to get me a little smoker's jacket with a one patch on it. You know, I was like, I've been a one-timer. And so call in and send in messages and say, we'd love to have that Dave Dowdy back again. Because I love it. I think it's great to be able to connect with the public, especially talking about something that gets swept under the carpet a lot, you know. So we've had Ross Hoffman here, and with Hoffman Hospice, he's been filling us in, and it's been fantastic. Gonna have to say goodbye, my friend, and let you head back out into the scorching heat. So let everyone know as far as if they want to contact Hoffman, what should they do?
Yeah, well, the easiest way is to always give us a call. So 661-410-1010. And that's whether you are interested in volunteering or you have questions about hospice services or what to do from here. Call that number and we'll be able to connect you with somebody that will help you no matter what. No matter what the question is, give us a call. Let us help. Let us figure it out for you or help you along the way and go from there. And you can also visit our website if you're just curious about Hoffman Hospice or the things we do. You can go to hoffmanhospice.org and look us up in that sense too.
That's fantastic.
And you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You know, it's a new thing. You know,
can't escape.
You do those things. Follow us on those. My marketing person would get mad if I didn't say that.
Right, of course.
At Hoffman Hospice of the Valley.
God, believe me. No, it's been wonderful. I really want to thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, Dave.
That was a handshake. And so you go ahead and make the rest of your day fantastic. And I will try to finish this out here. And
I appreciate you having me.
Again, thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, folks, for listening. And if you have any other questions about the care and such, you can call in and I can chat. I'm not as well informed as he is when it comes to actual hospice care. But if you want to talk about what we do, Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, I'll be here waiting for your call.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Vice President J.D. Vance is pushing back against claims that he's anti-Jewish. Vance tells the Hugh Hewitt Show on the Salem Radio Network the criticism is unfair and that he'll work to more clearly explain his relationship with Israel.
There are some Israelis who are just so used, at least some people in Israeli media, who are so used to politicians just taking as a given that America and Israel always have shared interests, when I think the reality is that we often have shared interests, but we don't always. And I don't think that makes me anti-Semitic, and I don't think it makes me anti-Israel. I just think it makes me honest.
Vance says the U.S.-Israel relationship is built on more than 70 years of shared values and mutual interests, but he argues that support for the alliance is too often reduced to slogans instead of honest and open discussion. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller says President Trump is moving to curb eligibility to birthright citizenship, signing 2 executive orders after the Supreme Court rejected an earlier attempt.
The idea that people come here pretending to be a tourist, pretending to be a visitor, saying they want to go to Disneyland, they want to go visit a monument or go to a national park, but the real reason they're here is to have a child, to make that child an automatic citizen, leave our country, and then have a U.S. citizen child It gives them access out of this broken system to welfare benefits, ultimately to the voting booth, and all the other rights and privileges that belong solely to Americans. So that practice of birth tourism is, as of the signing of this order, hereby banned.
President Trump says he believes his latest actions will be constitutional. In June, the Supreme Court upheld a broad conception of birthright citizenship, rejecting Trump's previous efforts. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at two different options: debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-990-6976.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The debate over whether Bakersfield should become a sanctuary city is moving forward, but no policy has been adopted. I'm Rob Archer. Supporters say limiting local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement would help immigrant families trust police, report crimes, and use city services without fear. Opponents say the city should cooperate fully with federal authorities. They worry a sanctuary policy could hurt public safety or threaten federal funding. The city council has sent the proposal for further review. The city also plans a public forum explaining how police currently work with immigration authorities. Kern County and Los Angeles County firefighters are working together on the Buzzard Fire near the 5 south of Lebec. The fire started when a vehicle caught fire and it spread into dry grass. Kern County crews are working from the north, while Los Angeles County firefighters attack from the south. Aircraft are supporting crews in the steep terrain. People near the fire should watch for Ready Kern alerts. Drivers should check road conditions before heading to the Grapevine. Extreme spring heat has caused major losses for Kern County pistachio growers. County agriculture officials expect more than half of this year's crop to be lost, worth an estimated $396 million. Hot weather in March disrupted pollination and nut development. The county has asked the state for a disaster declaration. Consumers could also see higher pistachio prices. The dangerous heat will last through the weekend. Heat alerts have been extended across Kern County and Bakersfield, possibly reaching 108 through Sunday. An extreme heat warning covers the desert and Indian Wells Valley, where temperatures could reach or top 110. Cooling centers are open until 8. If you need a free ride, call 211. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest, well, in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
And welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. I am so honored to be sitting in for him today. My name is David Dowdy, president of Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, a local 501c3 nonprofit. And the conversation that I've been carrying through this broadcast has been dealing with hospice care, has been dealing with end of life, has been dealing with things that a lot of people don't really like to talk about on a normal basis. Tends to veer away from it like it's a taboo subject sometimes. But you know what? it's something that's going to happen. It's just as like birth. I mean, you can't really have one without the other. If you're born, it's going to come to an end sometime. And whether it's ending your life at birth or when you're 106 years old, you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the floor. My advice is to just go ahead and give thanks in that moment, because it's been decided that you've been allowed at least this moment, this new day to approach. Embrace it. Smile through it as much as you can. Avoid getting caught up on the negativities. Avoid being hateful. That word love is, it should surround us. It should be like oxygen. Well, it is, isn't it? There's a song, love is like oxygen. Oh my God, now I'm really dating myself. But that's something that I've found with doing this work. I don't even like to call it work, but love, 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 love. If you go in and you make a visit and you show up and you are that lantern through that fog of distrust and fear, and you just come in and you lead with your heart, you lead with love, you leave your own baggage at the doorstep because you can pick it up and start worrying about stuff later if you have to. But while you're with somebody, when you show them that you are strictly there for them, that your heart is open to them, it's amazing what it can do for them. The smiles that it can elicit. I know we don't have a huge team, say with Healing Hands, Healing Hearts. We have a fantastic board of directors up north, up in Roseville. Monica Martinez, she's been with us since 2011. There's another up there in Elk Grove. She just joined us, took over for another board member, Brenda Crest, that's moving to Greece. And this is another Brenda Chacon. And she's been a therapist with us for a long time, and also with UC Davis Hospice. There's myself as, I say president, but just another board member, just another person, because I'm also a therapist. My most incredible darling wife, my Puerto Rican princess, Damiana, she has been handling the books. She's a behind the scenes person, watching her pull that curly, beautiful hair out of her head, trying to handle things that most people don't want to face when it comes to paperwork. Oh my goodness. Tom Cox, who you heard from, he called in. He's been with us since 2011, and I learned when I was first doing massage at the school. He and I were students together. That's where we crossed paths initially. So we go way back, and he has been tried and true. It's amazing. And then there's Jeannie Troncow Heath, and she actually used to own Bakersfield Bodywork and Massage, where we went to school, and that's where I met her. And she's been with us since 2018, and she helped us get our what it's called the NCB TMB license. I think I have what that means, but what that does is it's a license that allows us to go anywhere in the United States and teach the touch therapy program to massage therapists so they can earn continuing education. We don't have to be in a school. If someone wants to host it in their garage, we can do it there, and we can offer them continuing education. It's a big deal, and it was hard to get, and she helped us push that through. It was pretty amazing. So thank you, Jeannie. I gotta give you a little props there. We had a board member that was from the beginning, Joan Marie. She passed away. It was really tough. She had a brain tumor, and we went up and got to be with her near her end days. I say we had another board member move to Greece, and another one moved to Florida. So it's hard, but we keep trucking away, and we've seen, oh my goodness, so many people. I was trying to. I was going to look here. I had things written. Yeah, I think we made, like, before we took over Healing Hands, Healing Hearts. I alone made 118 visits, and after we got things going again, we've made over 1,500 visits, and and that's multiple visits with the same client too. And there's some that go on and on. I know my very first time, my very first client. Oh my God! I'll show you something. Well, this is my sweet Mary, and it was a really incredible thing. After I had gotten the training, and I was nervous because I hadn't really done the therapy on a real patient before. And I had just started volunteering with Hoffman Hospice. And so I show up, and the volunteer coordinator's with me, and knock on the door, and I'm pulling my little rolling duffel, and have my rolling stool with me. And they open the door, and I look inside, and there's probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 people, maybe more, all kind of lined around the place. I'm thinking, what in the world? And there's this hospital bed in the middle of the living room, right where the front door opens, and it's empty. And there's a chaplain standing there with a camera around his neck. And someone says, "Oh, he's here." And I'm like, what in the world? And the chaplain comes over and says, "Yeah, this is so new. Everyone was excited. The family wanted to be here for this, and they even had family that flew there so they could see me do a touch therapy session." Oh my goodness! Yeah, there was no pressure, and the bed being in the middle of the living room, and everyone gets to stand around and watch every little thing. And it's my first one. Oh, so sweet Mary. She wasn't sure what to expect, and I explained to her that it was not a massage. It wasn't, you're not disrobing, you're not oils and creams and all that. I'm just going to do, and I showed her a little brief, thing, and she said, "Oh, that feels so good." Okay, and so I started the work, and she was filling me in on her life a little bit about, I think it was 9 kids that she was raised with. She was one of 9, and a little farmhouse somewhere, and then she started crying. She says, "One thing I really miss is my cello." And I was like, "Really?" She says, my arm has been, so out of commission and pain. I can't play my cello. I cannot, pull use the frets on the cello." And so I started working on that arm while I was talking to her, and I utilized some of the stuff I had learned with the orthobionomy. And then she stopped me, and she says, "Wait a minute, wait." I thought, "Oh, great. What have I done? Everyone's looking. Did I do something inappropriate?" And she sits herself up, pushing herself up with her arms, sits on the edge of the bed, and she calls to her son, and she says, "Bring me my cello. Bring me my cello." And everyone's looking at her like, "Oh, great. She's lost it." And then she tells her son, "It's in my closet. It's in that back bedroom. Bring me my cello." And so they, okay. And so they helped her get off the bed, and they put her on this portable toilet. They put a little towel down for her. They covered her legs. She's in a hospital gown still. And her son comes out and brings this cello, sets it in front of her. And she embraced it like it was a long lost lover. It was beautiful. And it was so storybook. There was a little sunlight coming through the window, and it was shining right on her like a spotlight. And she lost her total vision of everyone and everything in that room that was going on. All she saw was that cello and that bow, the frayed bow. You could see the little strands coming off, and until it hadn't been used, there was dust on it. She takes that bow, and she takes that sore arm, and she is up on those frets with that hand, draws the bow across the neck of that cello, and the music she started playing, it was amazing. It was perfect. It was pitch perfect. It was just beautiful. And we're all just standing there, jaws on the ground, eyes wide open, watching. The family is just, it's incredulous. And she finishes the song, and everyone's thinking, "Oh, that was great." She goes right into another song, and she's just lost in it. And she is up and down the fret, and she's playing, and she's loving it. She played 3 consecutive songs, and then she stopped, not because her arm was sore, because she was tired. And she said, "Okay, that's what I needed. Let me get back in the bed." They got her back in the bed. I did my best at picking up where I left off with the session. And I never had someone thank me so much. She was just so thankful, as though I had done something. But it's not me. I'm not doing it. It was her. She took what I was offering, and she got back in. It helps the person get back in touch with their own body. Because hospice care, typically, in most situations, you don't have that same control over your body anymore. People are bringing in bedpans, or you're being given a bath. You're being told when you're going to eat. You're being told when this is going to happen. Your life is scheduled for you. And so for her to have that freedom of saying, "Hey, I'm going to play my cello," it was wonderful. And I had a number of visits with her after that, and until she passed, it was quite a glorious blessing. And that, I don't know, I guess you can see, the people that are streaming can see my sweet Mary there. And Hoffman used to have this. They still have it, but they used to have it in their lobby. A giant portrait of her up there on the wall. So every time I would visit their offices, I got to say hi to my Mary. But I still keep her around. She's a joyous triumph to my first thing. And that's what told me, "Dave, you've made the right decision. This is where you need to be." And my focus, I have to attribute to that first visit. It's so telling when the universe says, "Hey, we need you here," and God says, "Do it." Like I say, you wake up, your feet hit the floor. Ask yourself, what can I do today to take today beyond just me? Do something out there in this world every day, just one little thing, but know you're doing it. Do something outside your little box. It's a joy. I think we're going to be heading to break here, and when you get back, I'll regale you with some more tales.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, it's going to be half crazy. We're going to talk to Johnny Owens about Buck's birthday bash. Local super attorney Matt Clark will be joining us. Local crooner Monty Byram also about Buck's birthday bash on the 8th. They'll all be here. We got news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Carpet Outlet Plus installed over 1 million square feet of flooring last year alone. Over 20 years of Bakersfield's best flooring store means you can trust us with your hardwood, laminate, vinyl, and of course, carpet. Come in today to see over 100 waterproof floors from our in-stock inventory. It's probably been time to change your floors for a while, so call, click, or stop by today. Your free in-home estimate is waiting for you. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus.
Every day is sale day.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-924-7415. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415.
Thank you, Kern County. Steve Holloway Painting and Concrete Coatings is proudly celebrating 45 years of serving our community, and they're celebrating with a special anniversary offer. Be one of the first 10 homeowners to reserve your October or November painting or concrete coating project and enjoy 2 years of interest-free financing. Whether it's interior or exterior painting, cabinet refinishing, or beautiful decorative concrete coatings, trust the company that's been taking care of business for 45 years. Book today at SteveHollowayPainters.com.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I think we actually have another phone call, so I'll take that now.
Yep, we have Vic on the line.
All right, Vic.
Oh, seriously, man?
Seriously, man. You are there.
How you doing, Dave?
No, is this Vic Komiani?
Yes.
I can't believe it. Oh my God, how many years has it been?
Man, it's been 10, 15 years.
So what's going on?
I don't think you're talking enough about all the work you do with chronically ill people. I know you're talking about,
right?
You know,
mostly
the death and dying in hospice, but the work you do for people like me who have chronic illness. You don't know this yet. I was going to tell you this later because you were treating me
right
well before I found out my diagnosis.
Yeah, I never.
Both rheumatoid arthritis and psoriatic arthritis.
Oh.
And I just had to say how you changed my life in doing what you do.
Wow.
So I appreciate
man.
that so much, Dave.
Vic,
And
I can't
just had
believe
to
this. This is
come on
like
and tell you.
it's like out of nowhere. It's beautiful. Man, because I know you were off in Hawaii there for a while with the job,
I was
weren't
there
you?
for 5 years. I came back for my mother passed away, and I came back, so I'm back in Bakersfield. But I
Wow.
think
thank you.
people need to know what you do for people that have chronic illness and
Right.
not just
terminal.
not just terminal issues and what they're dealing with. And me and my wife have been in the medical industry for 25 years, and we know what value that you bring to the death and dying and the hospice patient. But you do so much for people who are chronically ill, and I don't think that gets stated enough for you. And you helped change my life
All right, man. Vic, that is
before
just,
I knew what was wrong with me. So I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you.
oh, brother, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for those props, man. And I
Yeah,
hope-
you got it, Dave. You're the man.
Thank you. Just don't tell Ralph that.
Okay, you got it.
Oh man, thank you. Oh God, wow, that's just, man, it makes you, it's another one of those reminders that just, it says, Dave, this is the right path, man. If you can affect somebody and they can feel that way that many years after being with them, and they still hold a space for you like that, man, what an honor. I know there's he was speaking about the critically and chronically ill. I've got a special client that I have worked on for a long time with spina bifida, and he's got the spina bifida myelomeningocele, something, I think it's pronounced that way, something along that line, but it's the most severe form of spina bifida. And then you add to that the hydrocephalitis, and he had a kidney transplant, and yet this guy, he lives alone, he takes care of himself, he drives to and from work every day. He to me is one of the most phenomenal human beings, as far as get up and go no matter what. And it takes a big wallop to knock this guy down. And I've been working with him for years now. And this is a situation where he gets physical issues, and he needs, you talk about transferring yourself in and out of a wheelchair behind a car, the wheel of a car every day, multiple times, in and out of chairs at work, that he might have to do. If he has to, heaven forbid, go down other than an elevator and take another recourse that way, just day-to-day life, a lot of pain, a lot of pain. So if I can help him, relieve some of the muscular issues, that to me is a joy. And that's why, when Vic was saying, it's more than just terminally ill. We work with people that have issues, I think we're going to be heading towards another break here soon. I'm going to tell you another story when you get back. So gather around the campfire, and everyone, sit cross-legged. We'll imagine s'mores, only ice s'mores, because it's too hot for them hot ones. Use a fire. We have to use a cold fire today. All right, folks, we'll see you back here shortly.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, you don't know where the products came from. How could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A New Mexico court has ordered Instagram and Facebook parent company Meta to pay $567 million to address harms to young people from its platforms. The order came late Thursday in the second phase of a landmark trial that the social media giant lost in March. Judge Brian Beidscheid said $420 million of the money will be used for treatment services for young people. Police say a man charged with starting one of the wildfires in Spokane, Washington that have destroyed hundreds of buildings planned the crime for weeks and researched when the weather would be best for igniting it. Detective Michael Drapo said in a court filing Wednesday that Aaron Farinacci confessed to sparking the fire, describing his planning process, and explained how he created a device to ignite the blaze. This is SRN News.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. The debate over whether Bakersfield should become a sanctuary city is moving forward, but no policy's been adopted. Supporters say limits on local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement would help immigrant families trust police and report crimes. But opponents say the city should cooperate fully with federal authorities, and they worry a sanctuary policy could hurt public safety or federal funding. A proposal has been sent for further review. The city plans a public forum on how police currently work with immigration authorities. Kern County and Los Angeles County firefighters are working together on the Buzzard fire near the 5 south of Lebec. If you live near the fire, you should watch out for Ready Kern messages. And if you're driving through it, check conditions before traveling through the Grapevine. And Bakersfield could reach 108 through the weekend with heat alerts extended through Sunday. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And we're back.
We are back.
August is here.
Finally, August.
Schools are open.
Unbelievable.
Spray parks are open, keeping cool.
4 shopping months till Christmas.
Speaking of that, why if you go to a big box hardware store, they have Halloween stuff.
Yeah, already.
Seriously, come on out to California Fruit Depot. That's why we're here. We're advertising for California Fruit Depot. Phenomenal shakes, smoothies, fresh fruit, nuts, vegetables.
Nuts. Come get your nuts.
Yeah, come on out. But I want to thank everybody for our 4th of July Fan Fest that we had. 20 to 25,000 people.
25. The Highway Patrol estimate, I don't remember.
That was a good time.
It was amazing.
And the big question of the day was, why don't people carve watermelons? I mean, that is an age-old question.
It is a very good question.
Come on out to California Fruit Depot. Let's talk about it in depth.
Yeah.
And seriously, let's start carving watermelons. Spray a little bug spray like off in there, and you're not going to attract anything.
Perfect.
Good to go.
119.
Google us, California Fruit Depot. Come on out. We're local.
See ya.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Central Valley remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Federal appeals court ruled the New Jersey's assault weapon law barring possession of a semi-automatic rifle is unconstitutional. The first time a federal appeals court has ruled that a state's assault weapons ban violated the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment. So this could be a huge one for here in California. Things could be changing for us gun owners.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Nice. I love the intro music for these shows. It always takes me back. Sometimes the old school stuff, back when music was music. Doggone it. Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is David Dowdy filling in. I'm the president of Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, a local 501c3 nonprofit. We work with the critically, chronically, and terminally ill through mostly what's called touch therapy. It's a very, very non-invasive, rhythmical, light compression work from head to toe that doesn't require any disrobing or use of creams or oils. It's wherever they are, wherever the client is comfortable is where we provide it, or in a wheelchair, on a couch. It's just not hanging from a rope in the Alps somewhere. We won't do any mountain climbing for that. But I welcome you back. Ralph has asked me to fill in for him, and that's quite an honor, as I know this is quite an important desk in this broadcast community. I was talking about different visits and such that I've had. There's another person that I was very familiar with. He was my father, and this man. I'll go through this without crying. Doggone, this is so hard, but he was my hero. Always my hero, and he and my mom were the consummate couple. They met in high school and never parted ways, and that's rare. They raised my sister and I in a fantastic way. It was almost sickening, when I tell people about how happy our family was and the things we did together, and how my dad he worked and my mom stayed home, and when I would come home on a rainy day, walking home from school, I could smell the peanut butter cookies that she was baking. Now, come on, is this like Leave It to Beaver or what? Jeez. But my dad was very proud of Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, and what we were doing and such. And I always remember trying to help him understand what it really was. And then he ended up with that ugly old cancer, and he decided to fight it as long as he could because he wanted to hang around as long as he could because he felt he owed it to his family to be here as much as he could, and he did brave it. Man was a firefighter, and back in the days before they had the good equipment, so he lived a lot longer than most. I mean, he died pretty much after his 80th birthday, and but I was called up there. My mom called me up. They were living over in Pismo at the time, and you see this picture right here. This picture stays with me. It goes on my desk everywhere I am. When I'm teaching classes, no matter where I'm at, I bring that picture because it's my pops, and I owe a lot to that man as far as making me the person I am, and getting to do the touch therapy sequence on him the day before he transitioned. I mean, it was partway through, he reaches over and he places his hand on top of mine, and he looked over at me with this look on his face that I will never forget. It was just beautiful. It was warm and deep and loving and surrounded by pride in his son, and it was it was our way of saying goodbye. That sure as heck beat a handshake. That. Let me tell you that. So getting to do that with him was another thing that tells me, God, Dave, right place, baby, doing the right thing. And there's someone else out there that not a lot of you may know this name, David Zent. Now this guy, geez, I don't think that theater in Bakersfield would have ever gotten where it went without that man, especially the melodrama. He was one of the initial instigators. Well, he ended up getting cancerous tumors, and he went through, oh my God, the guy, he was tortured. Matter of fact, he used to compare himself to Frankenstein. I don't know if you can see this. This was one of his visits to KMC, where the surgeons there, they didn't really know what they had until they started cutting him open. And then they went, oh man, and they had to keep following and pulling stuff out. And this is after he had already gone through radiation treatment and everything else. Well, I had over 100 sessions with this man. I would go up to his house up there. He had a place up on, his family did, up on Panorama, and he was living on his own by himself. And he had this recliner in the middle of the living room. And I would show up and let myself in and try to put the old guy to sleep, because he wasn't sleeping too well. And so I was his sleeping pill. He fought back, and he fought back, and he fought back. And he ended up meeting the most marvelous woman, Christine Wharton. And those two, I'm telling you what, she brought him out of the dumps, because he knew his time was limited. They both did, but they did a hand fasting, and then they went to Hawaii and did a hand fasting, and they became an incredible couple. Matter of fact, I think the Californian did some articles. I don't know, this so small, but that's them dancing. This is after all this. Dancing in the almond orchards when they were blooming, when it came his time, it was down to City of Hope and down in Duarte, California. And Christine called me and said, hey, it's like it's time. Is there any way you can come here? And I jumped in the car and started driving. Got there, and she and two of his daughters were there, and I got them all involved, and we all put hands on. And it was a beautiful touch therapy session. And driving home, I just felt, I felt so lifted. And then she called me and says, he's transitioned, he's gone. And so, like another person I got to say goodbye to at the very end. It just, such an honor when that happens. And there's another one, a little boy. He was 18 months old. This was early on. He had what is called Menkes syndrome. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It's also called the kinky hair syndrome. And it can affect people in so many different ways. He was 18 months old, which actually when you're born with it is a long time. But one of the things that hit him was, the sheath around the nerves is dissolved, and either born without it or it starts dissolving. And so you just become this open nerve and just pain all the time. So this little boy, little 18-month-old baby boy, of course wasn't sleeping or much. The family was just exhausted. And I was asked early on when I was doing the touch therapy to go see him, and I was thinking, oh yeah, right. What am I going to do? And I called my teacher, and she says, hey, you need to, there's a CD you should get that play. It's a Celine Dion. And I think I had a little bile rise up in my throat because Celine Dion was definitely not on my usual playlist. But she did this CD of lullabies, and I took a chance, went to Warehouse, which was over there on Ming Avenue at the time. They had a bunch of used CDs. I thought, okay, and I thumbed through it, and it wasn't even, I bet 5 seconds. Boom, there it is. Okay. I get this thing, and the guy at the counter looked at me like, what's this grown man doing buying a Celine Dion lullaby CD? Looked at me kind of funny. I go out there to the visit. He's laying on his grandma's lap when I walk in, and she's giving me the evil eye. Like, you're not going to touch this boy, are you? And the mom had to go to work. And so she was going to leave me there alone with Gilberto laying on grandma's lap. And the last words were, she doesn't speak English either. So I got to try to communicate to her that I was not going to hurt this little boy as I wheeled myself up to her, and she's giving me the daggers in the eyes, and just he's laying there on a little pillow on her lap. And I'm thinking, oh man, if this goes wrong. And then I stopped. I said, you know what? This isn't about me. Doggone it. This is about him. Let him drink in what he wants. And I just reached up and placed my hand up on his head and one hand up on his shoulder and held it there. Just let it land real softly like a little butterfly landing. And when he stopped squirming, and I just slowly moved to the music of Celine Dion, moved my hands through some of the scenario that I was doing and morphed it a little bit to make it fit the situation. And we're about halfway through, and he started the most adorable little snore. He was sound asleep, and grandma's looking at me with these wide eyes and looking at him and back at me. And I continued on. And when I was done, he was really snoring. I quietly packed up my bags and I looked at grandma. She gave me one of those smiles, and she was just frozen. It's like she's playing statue because she was not about to move and wake this little baby. And so I went out the door, and I get a phone call later on from the volunteer coordinator with Hoffman. And she says, oh my God, we just got a phone call. What did you do? And I thought, oh no, because it sounded like I did something terrible. Because he slept for more than 2 hours. He has never slept for more than 20 minutes. And I was just like, wow. And I said, well, ask the mom if they want me to come back out there, and I can show them what I did so that they can try to do it. And that's really where that part of it started. When I go out to make a visit, and when my team goes out to make a visit, it's not just us doing it. It's us wanting to show the family what to do, because it's not a complicated thing. That's why I made it the way it is, so that when I'm teaching this, anybody can take the class. You don't have to be a massage therapist. You have to be a human being. You have to be not afraid to touch somebody. Now, if you're afraid to touch somebody, this may not be for you, but anybody can learn the touch therapy program. And you don't have to have a license like a massage therapist to go out and do it. You have to have your insurance and such, because there's no disrobing involved. And that's the big thing with massage. If you have to disrobe, then there's a big license involved. That's why you can see a lot of times you'll see these chair massage things. All they have to have is insurance. They don't have to have all this licensing. So that was a marvelous example of just how deep this can go, and it showed me. I'm so happy that it happened early on, because it was a very unusual scenario, and you do learn a lot of medical things in that sense. I had no idea, never heard of Menkes syndrome before. So now we transition to a marvelous lady named Deborah that family contacted hospice and wanted me to come out and do the touch therapy on. I show up at this facility and she's not in her bed. I'm thinking, where is she? She was outside watering the flowers. Oh wow, that's she's up and mobile, and that's the way it was for the first few months that I was working with her. She was pretty able, and then of course the physical body takes over, and disease kicks in, and whammo, she was pretty well hammered and put in different facilities, and I kept seeing her, and she was transitioning, getting there, and so one Sunday morning early, I get a phone call, and it's her brother, Eddie Medrano. He and his wife Jeanette, marvelous people. Says, "Hey, Dave, I think Deborah might be going. You want to come?" And I was like, "Yes." So I jump in my car and I head over to the facility, get in there, and it must have been 15 or 20 people in there. His family was just all surrounding her, and I come in and go to the head of the bed there, because I could walk right behind it. I just cradled her head, and I asked the whole family to come in, and everyone came in, and I said, "Everybody, where you can, just reach in and put your hands on her, and just hold your hands in place." And they started. I said, "Say prayers. Let's sing a hymn." And it was I wish it would have been recorded, because it was one of the most beautiful family acceptances. And while we're doing this, I'm standing up there, and I noticed that she passes, that she transitioned, and I signaled to the RN to come over, and she verified, and the family, it was beautiful, and to see a family embrace end of life, because they know it's going to happen, instead of making it so dour and dark and wear black and be miserable. They celebrated the fact that she had made it. It was going to happen. She made it. They got to be there. That was even more important, because they got to say goodbye. And that's a rarity when you're dealing with end of life, because we do not know when it's going to happen. It's just one of those things. That's why I say, wake up, feet hit the floor, stand there and say, well, what's ahead? What can I do to make this day bigger, better, faster, stronger? Because I have the ability to do that. And I can do it with just a smile. I can do that by making eye contact with somebody who doesn't expect you to, and just smile at them, eye contact. Have a great day, out of nowhere. And guarantee you, it's going to make them have a great day. We've got another break coming up, folks. Come back for story time with Dave.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, it's going to be half crazy. We're going to talk to Johnny Owens about Buck's birthday bash. Local super attorney Matt Clark will be joining us. Local crooner Monty Byram also about Buck's birthday bash on the 8th. They'll all be here. We got news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. Right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Very excited about my weekend. I'm taking a friend who's only been to Casey Steakhouse once, and they were there for an event, so they didn't even eat, but they liked the ambiance. And I said, wait till you get a hold of one of the best steaks you're ever going to have. And I'm going to turn them on to the Stockyard next door on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, where they have live music on Saturday. They have a lovely young woman named Lottie that plays. And of course, Bobby and Jimmy are playing live music Tuesday through Saturday in the main restaurant. But again, the ambiance, the age, the restaurant's almost 90 years old, and no one could have ever believed that Cassie Biddle would take this restaurant to where it is now, advancing, adding on to it, just building up on the menu, where it's not just simply all about steaks. I told you about the lobster mac and cheese, the fish dishes, the chicken dishes, you name it. Chef Daniel's done an incredible job of expanding the menu. Where would you rather be than on F Street at KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show?
Did you know termites can silently feast on your home for 3 to 4 years before you see any damage? They can literally eat a bedroom wall in less than 2 years, causing major structural damage to your biggest investment. Don't wait for the evidence to appear. Ryan's Termite is running an early bird special. If you know or even suspect that you have termites, get on Ryan's schedule now for an additional 10% off our already lowest price. All work is guaranteed. There's no money down and no contracts. Plus, in most cases, you won't even have to move or tent your house. Protect your home and save. Call Ryan's today. That's Ryan'sTermiteControl.com.
In Kern County, valley fever affects more than 3,000 people each year. But together, we can change that. Join Kern County Public Health as a Valley Fever ambassador. You don't need medical experience, just a willingness to help your community stay informed. Neighbors sharing with neighbors. Coworkers looking out for each other. Be part of the solution by signing up for a 30-minute virtual training. Visit KernPublicHealth.com to learn more.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Thank you, Kern County. Steve Holloway Painting and Concrete Coatings is proudly celebrating 45 years of serving our community, and they're celebrating with a special anniversary offer. Be one of the first 10 homeowners to reserve your October or November painting or concrete coating project and enjoy 2 years of interest-free financing. Whether it's interior or exterior painting, cabinet refinishing, or beautiful decorative concrete coatings, trust the company that's been taking care of business for 45 years. Book today at SteveHollowayPainters.com.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
My goodness, we're already edging into the last little segment. Jeez. Time goes by. I asked if we could add an hour to this, and they said, no.
Unfortunately, we cannot.
Oh, geez. See?
They wouldn't pay me to stay.
I'll pay. Oh, my goodness. So, this is David Dowdy, filling in for Ralph Bailey. Healing Hands, Healing Hearts is our nonprofit 501c3. You can contact us at 661-323-4440. I wanted 4444 because that would have been HHHH, Healing Hands, Healing Hearts, but settle for 4. So you got 4440. You can contact us via email. Go David Dowdy, HHHH at gmail.com. You got our website, healinghandshealinghearts.org, which is still under construction, so don't yell at me because I'm not a techno person. So there's another one. It was a little short with it.
I was seeing a lady, sweet Bonnie. I was seeing her over at a facility at Rosewood, and I had made ultimately, 40, I think it was 43, 42, 43 visits with her every week, sometimes twice a week. And she was transitioning and was getting harder for her to be. And so one time I go in and I pull my chair up and she looks at me and she has this blank stare at me, just staring me straight in the eyes and without a smile, with nothing. I thought, oh my goodness. And she says, do I need to call the police? Oh no, I thought she's having some kind of an episode. I didn't know that she had Alzheimer's or dementia or what's happening. And she says, she goes, I can scream. Uh, you know, are you? I said, Bonnie, what's the problem? She says, well, look at your name tag. And I thought, what in the world? She says, aren't you the rapist? And I was like, what? And I looked down and it says, David Dowdy, therapist. Oh, yeah. Believe me, she started, when she saw the look on my face, she started laughing and laughing. And then I started laughing. It was probably the most healing session of all, the rapist. So now every time I see therapist on a bed, I'm sorry I did this to you folks, but you need to tighten those letters up because people can read into these things. Another one. Oh my goodness. Oh, Charlie. Matter of fact, here. This guy. He had a massive stroke, and it was shutting his body down, and he was in hospice care. Couldn't talk, couldn't move. His poor wife, she was she was struggling to take care of the guy. I saw him, I think 20 visits ultimately, and partway through, she answers the door and she gives me another thing, like a hateful stare, and she goes, "I hope you're happy." And I'm thinking, "Oh wow, what in the world? What did I do?" And she says, "Well," so I walk in there today, and I point at the chalkboard because that's where I put what's happening each day, and there's your name. And I tell him, I ask him, "Do you know what's happening?" And he says, "Dave." Well, he doesn't talk. He can't say her name, but he can say Dave. And she started laughing. We went back there. I walk in, Dave. Oh God, moments like that just they're magic. And that's something that keeps me doing this day in, day out, because everybody's different. Folks, it has been a joy. It's been a dream. It's been wonderful. Honor. Thank you so much. Have a brilliant evening. Love you all.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Proposed regulation changes for the Project Head Start program have now been posted.
The Trump administration is moving ahead with its plans to overhaul Head Start, a key early education program for the nation's poorest children. Officials from the Department of Health and Human Services say the changes, now posted online, would encourage more local decision-making by eliminating many federal regulations. The program currently serves around 700 vulnerable children, including those who are homeless or in foster care. Proposed changes would replace extensive federal regulations with state and local requirements. Experts warn it may also lower standards. The public has 60 days to weigh in.